So come on into our kitchen. Our next guest serves up the best gumbo in New York City, and he is here today sharing his Nanny's seafood gumbo. That doesn't sound like someone from New York calling their grandma Nanny. Please welcome to our home, Chef Adam Lathan. Welcome, Chef. Glad to have you here. Thank you. As you can see, our family was very excited about your gumbo, and not because it's New York City gumbo.
No.
This is proper gumbo.
That's what I'm talking about.
This is the real deal.
I heard it's the perfect gumbo.
From the Gulf Coast.
Oh, yeah. It is a coastal gumbo.
Okay, great.
So.
And you learned how to make this gumbo from your great nanny, who taught your nanny, who then taught your dad, who taught you.
It's been passed down. My dad, luckily, he paid attention, and he actually wrote down the recipe and tried to get it exactly right. It never tastes the exact same as what you're used to with your grandmother. But, but yeah, so we've worked on the recipe for a couple of years, and here we go.
So it starts with a dark roux. So tell us about your roux.
It does. So this is a pretty standard Cajun-style roux, which is going to be, this is canola oil.
Okay.
And flour.
And that's it?
Yeah, and you just do a 1-to-1 ratio of this, and you cook it low and slow.
For how long?
Depends on how much you have, but I'd say about, an hour. That's it.
About an hour until you get it dark.
Like
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh.
That's it. And then after an hour, we start adding in all of our vegetables.
Absolutely. So the first thing I like to do first, I like to put in onion first to try to caramelize that, and that's going to continue to bring out that dark flavor that dark color that we're really looking for here.
And how long are we going to leave those onions in before we start adding the rest?
I'd say about 3 to 4 minutes. You just want them to cook through a little bit.
All right. And now we have, is that thyme?
This is sage.
Sage,
so this is something that I think we do a little bit differently.
All right.
Like, I love, love, love sage. It's something that my grandmother used to do in her cooking. And so we try to implement this in a lot of recipes at the restaurant.
All right.
And it adds a little bit of an earthy flavor to that roux, and it's going to really come out as
a little bit
you continue
different.
to build the gumbo.
And then we drop in our celery.
This is celery and a little bit of bell pepper. So this is going to complete the holy trinity of Cajun cooking.
Okay.
So we throw these guys in, and yeah, I think the important thing is to just keep stirring it, watch the roux, make sure that you're not too hot. You can always lower the heat a little bit, but also you want to cook all these vegetables through.
Yeah,
okay, and then this special spice.
Yes, so we've got some cayenne pepper, which will add a little bit of heat, some paprika, a little bit of fresh thyme is always nice if you have, if you have dried at home, that always works.
Okay, that works as well.
Yeah.
And of course our bay leaves, drop those in.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
It's definitely got a little bite, like Ken was saying, too.
It's got some heat, some deep heat.
Yeah, some deep heat. I love that.
It's
And
true.
now to the very controversial okra. To okra or not to okra? That is the question with gumbo. Because, some people will okra, other people forget it.
Really?
They're completely against it. It's a thing, right? It's a thing.
It is a thing, and it's a hot topic. We seem to have a lot of debates over this with customers in the restaurant.
But true gumbo always has okra.
I agree personally, but it depends on where you're from.
Those New Yorkers don't understand.
So gumbo is sort of specific to the region then, like.
It's so similar to like barbecue in the deep south, where some states might do it one way, other areas might do it another.
Okay.
It all depends on what town you're from and exactly basically how your grandma.
I like that aspect.
Now, how do we know when the okra's done?
So I think the best trick is to really just cook this okra down, and what you're looking for is the pod to actually kind of release the seeds a little bit. So oftentimes people think that we don't have that much okra in our gumbo at the restaurant, which is funny, but what we'd like to do is just cook it all the way down. What that does is kind of kill off a lot of the enzymes and things that might make your okra a little slimy. So a lot of people have a tendency to say, I don't like okra.
Right.
I think they just don't like the consistency.
Right. Well, because they've never had it prepared correctly.
There you go.
Yeah. There's a lot of ways to get rid of that sliminess. You put it in vinegar, you do all kinds of
fry
things.
it.
Or you fry it. And you
just fry it.
Yeah, that's it.
We also do it at the restaurant. And
So
that's
you
my
wait.
favorite.
You wait for the seeds to pop out. And once they start to pop, then you know that okra's ready
Then
to
you
go.
know the okra's done, and that's sort of as you're building your base.
Okay.
The next thing you do from there is just take
Seafood
your stock. So this is a seafood stock that we have. But if you don't have seafood stock, you can always use a chicken stock or veg or whatever you have, Lena.
Okay. So now we're going to let that cook down for how long?
I'd say we want to cook it for about an hour or so. We want everything to incorporate, taste it as it goes along. You want a little more heat, add a little more pepper. Salt, pepper, anything you need.
So low and slow for about an hour. And then after that, that's when we start adding our filet.
We can add our filet next.
Our filet. So explain what filet is.
Filet is ground sassafras leaves from a sassafras tree. It's a traditional thickening agent. It's mostly in a lot of Creole gumbos around the New Orleans area. And again, a little bit of a controversial subject.
Some use it, some don't, I guess.
Some use it, some don't. Some
go.
people have it on their table and they sprinkle it on their gumbo like after it's already been served. So it's all a matter of preference.
Right. So you mix that in there. And then for our seafood, the seafood that you use at the restaurant is shrimp and crab, but you could put in whatever you have, right?
Whatever you have available.
That's fancy.
I mean, that's fancy gumbo.
Like crawfish and like catfish.
That's what I said. I was like, it's
fancy.
more like crawfish where I'm from. So how long do you cook the shrimp? Because those will go fast.
Those are going to go real fast. I'd say
Okay.
about 2 minutes, just until you see their tails start to curl up a little bit, and that's when you know they're pretty much done.
Okay. And then we drop in the crab meat, which is
Yes.
already cooked?
This, yes, this is pasteurized crab meat, so it's pretty much good to go. So really, you just throw it in there to heat it up, and it's going to add a lot of flavor as well, a little bit of sweetness from that crab.
Okay. And then you serve it over some beautiful rice.
There you go. There you go.
We got
Get
maybe
it on
need a
there.
second before that cooks up.
Yeah,
huh?
we just
Now-
want to make sure those shrimp go.
I got to ask you also, your
Yes.
restaurant in New York not only makes a very delicious gumbo, but also you guys are doing some Cajun catering for the holidays. Tell us about it.
We are. Yeah, we have a couple of specials we're looking to do. We're going to have a couple of different types of turkeys.
Okay.
Cajun turkeys.
That's
we have
great.
stuffed with jambalaya.
Oh, wow.
That's great.
Is that cool?
Boudin, and then we're also doing a few different turkey gumbo recipes that are going to be available for catering for potlucks or your dinner.
That's pretty cool.
I mean, people must love that this gumbo is in the middle of New York City.
It's hard to find in New York.
Yeah.
And so like what's so much fun is having somebody from Alabama, Louisiana, Mississippi, somebody saying they miss a taste of home, and then they come see us.
Yeah. That's so awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Okay, let's
thank
taste
you.
this.
You want to have a little
Stick it in
taste,
here.
Debbie? I know you do.